Hello, Rotarians and guests. Welcome to the Rotary Club of San Jose and meeting number 5,522. Welcome, everyone. Yes. Come on in, take your seats. We're about to start our show here, folks. I'll do the bell one more time. All right, thank you, folks. Yes, we got a good show ahead of us, so thank you. Come on in, settle in. My name is Matt Breaker. For those of you I haven't met, I have the honor and privilege of leading our meetings in our club for this Rotary year, so thank you for all being here today. I want to start off by saying thank you to today's greeting line, which is the Unhoused Impact Committee, which is chaired by Amelia, Irene, and Brenda, doing a fabulous job. Let's show them some love, folks. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Okay. And today on the traveling marks, we've got John Erbar and Aaron Fritz. John, where I saw John earlier.
I am back here. I'm John Erbar. I am the CEO of the YMCA of Silicon Valley, and my sponsors are Brenda Sweeney and Karen Fox.
Fabulous. And you're set up to be formal introduction to the club, I think, in 2 weeks, correct?
I think so, yep.
That's going to be great. And Aaron, where is Aaron?
Yes,
Here we go.
I'm Aaron Fritz. I'm a commercial real estate broker with Kidder Matthews here downtown San Jose. My sponsor is Norm Holberg. And
Well, wonderful. Welcome. And you're going to be up here a little later for the full introduction. So thank you both for taking on the mic duties today. We got folks still in the line here. I'm going to do one more bell ring because we're getting started here. We've got a special someone in the house today, folks, that I wanted to start off by recognizing. If I can get my screen working here. There we go. Right over here in the front table, right over here, is the fabulous Rob Fox, folks. Yes. Hello, Rob. For those of you who do not know, Rob Fox, quintessential Rotarian. He joined our club in November 1965. That makes him a Rotarian for 60 years, folks. Today he's at the table with Bert George. He hung out with Glenn George. His father hung out with Joseph George. I mean, the legacy here and the Rotary blood is thick. He's just a fabulous Rotarian. He's done it all throughout the years. He served on the club board in the 70s. He was a trustee on the foundation in the 90s. He's a Ruby Fellow. He's been amazing in the community, and I've had the actual personal pleasure of knowing him for more than 30 years, since his nephew married my sister, our foundation president, Audrey Fox. So I'm just so glad he's here today, and along the many other things that things he's done to generosity towards the club. Today we're going to give him another Paul Harris Fellow pin, Paul Harris number 8 for him. Let's show some love to the fabulous Rob Fox over there. Rob, I'm going to bring it down to you. So glad you're here with us today. But let's do guest introductions. Rotarians with guests, please stand up. We'll get the traveling mic to you. We'll do some quick fire introductions here. Starting on this side of the room. We'll go to Alan right over here for starters.
Oh yeah, it passed.
Hello, President Matt. How you doing?
Doing great.
I'm Alan Williams. My sponsor is Heather Lerner. And I'm privileged to introduce Mike Macarone. He is my wife's cousin's son.
We're with you.
But he is also the new principal for Hillbrook High School.
Oh, there you go.
In,
wonderful.
Welcome.
Welcome. Terrific. Thank you.
And he just had a new baby boy.
Oh, Mazel Tov. There you go. Terrific. Thank you. Steve Preminger right up here.
Thank you. My guest today is Matt Moreles. Matt, you want to stand up? I'm sorry. I didn't mean that at all. I meant his father. Matt, I'm going to introduce you later, and it's going to be really good. Jess is also the husband of our world-famous Rotarian, Teresa Alvarado.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. Nice to see you. Okay, right over here. Catherine, hello.
President Matt, it's Catherine Tompkison. It's my distinct pleasure to introduce 2 folks. One of them is a guest, Ben Jordan. He is the son of Hal Hendrickson, who is taking our picture. And the other is a brand new Red Badger.
We love
This
it.
is Jacob Leung. He is sponsored by Michelle Lockeson, and he's the controller of the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, terrific. Welcome to you both. And Jacob, expect to see you regularly. Look forward to it. Okay, do you have any other guests here? Here we go. Yes, hello.
Shall I?
Yes.
Sir, I am Dr. Arun Jamkar. I have come as a visit to your club. I am president-elect of Pune Uptown.
Oh, wonderful.
District 3131. We are one of the best districts in Southeast Asia.
That is...
And I have come for a specific aim of developing some collaboration with your wonderful club, maybe some sister relationship, or maybe contributing in some of our healthcare projects. Thank you.
That is wonderful. Welcome. I love that. That's terrific. Okay. Not seeing any other guests here, but so thank you to the Rotarians who brought guests, and thank you to all the guests who've come out to check us out today. We've got a good show for you. Learn a little bit about the club, hear an interesting speaker, hopefully have a little entertainment along the way. So that should be fun. I'm just wondering, is past President Sal in the house today? Is past President... There he is. Well, hello, past President Sal. Folks, I have to say, Sal saw him past weekend over at the Symphony San Jose event. Sal, there is really no better ambassador for our club than Sal Pizarro. He is all over town. He's at the galas. He's at the restaurant openings. He's at the walks. He's everywhere, and he's reliable. I always see that pin on his lapel, which is one of the many things that makes him such a fabulous ambassador of our club. Well, someone told me I should check out, which I happen to already check out, the Food Network show Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, which was on last week. And they were in a San Jose restaurant, El Halal Amigos, raving about the food. You can check it out online. And of course, who did they have as their guest to talk a little bit about the fabulous food? There he is, our #1 representative. I have to confess, with that pedigree, there was disappointment when I noticed something missing. I'm just going to say, it's 450,000 viewers across the country. What say you, past President Sal, without your pin, which I hope you're wearing today?
I'm not wearing my pin because it's on my jacket.
Oh my God, you've been hanging out with Brian Adams way too much.
Brian always wears his pin. I will gladly accept a fine for not wearing it, but I will point out, we've got I've got a picture of you.
Oh my God, here we go.
I don't have it up there.
Okay.
This was a true.
This was.
I've got to find it. By the end of this meeting, we're going to have words. Okay.
All right. Well, you are a fabulous ambassador, but we have standards, Sal. So
I understand.
You go, $100. It's going to go back in the pot for good deeds. While we're talking about the club and great things we do, our wonderful Neurodivergent Committee had a celebration on May 17th where they were celebrating neurodivergent artists. Terrific event, great turnout. Here are some of the photos of the recipients we should check out together. Just a great event, well attended. David Neal, Deanna Persai, outstanding chair people of this important committee. There they are, and there's the whole committee together. That was just a great, let's give it up for them, folks. They're just terrific. Representing our club so wonderfully out there. Last week was the Rotary Barbecue. Wow. Knocked it out of the parks, those executive chefs and Red Badgers did. We had 360 folks sign up. That is amazing. I would imagine most of you were there. It was a totally fun event. We had live music. Thank you, Dan Orloff. We had a cake baking competition. Thank you, Pat Riley. We had line dancing. Thank you, Paula Ball. And we had all of you out there eating and drinking and having a great time. Tim Gill, we're getting to 400 next year, and I'm helping you lead the way. Let's make that happen. I've got a little, yeah, that was great. I got a little slideshow to get us back in the vibe and recall how great that was. It's about 2 minutes, so let's check it out.
chicken fried, and cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, I was raised up beneath the shade of a Georgia pine, and that's home, you know. Sweet tea, pecan pie, and homemade wine, where the peaches grow. In my house, it's not much to talk about, but it's filled when love is grown in southern ground, and a little bit of chicken fried, cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio. I like to see sunrise, see the love in my woman's eyes, feel the touch of a precious child, and know a mother's love. It's funny how it's the little things in life that mean the most. Not where you live, what you drive, or the price tag on your clothes. There's no dollar sign on a piece of mind, this I've come to know. So if you agree, have a drink with me, raise your glasses for a toast to a little bit of chicken fried, and cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio. I like to see the sunrise, see the love in my woman's eyes, feel the touch of a precious child, and know a mother's love.
That was a great event. Yes, thank you, everyone. And we had, as I said, we had a cake baking competition, and Melody Walsh is Melody in the house today, where, yes, took home the gold medal, as you saw, with the carrot raisin cake, which rave reviews all around. I understand you're going to be sending out the recipe, which I think many people would appreciate. So thank you to her, and thank you to all the other participants. I think past president, I think Audrey got second. Audrey got third, Karen got second. I participated. I got one of the latest and best participation trophies. So we'll better luck next year. We had a competition, as I think you know, about most guests. And is Dagmar in the house today? She's traveling. Well, Dagmar, when she comes back, is going to go to Scott's Seafood. She brought 9 guests, top dog for her, $100 gift certificate. So thank you to Dagmar. And okay, so now it's time for one of our regular monthly installment segments. We've been doing this, as I think folks know. So we're going to welcome up here past President Karen Sinanu for her Sinanu for her regular segment of Did You
Why
Know?
don't we paint the town and all that jazz? I'm gonna
All that jazz, because that was the theme song for her year at the podium. Show some love to my favorite, Karen Sinanu.
Thank you very much. Today, I thought I would share a little bit of history with you about the Gordon House. Oh, there, it works. So, Hanford Lennox Gordon, fancy name, and his wife, Mary, they moved from Minnesota to San Jose in 1887. And there is Hanford's picture, and unfortunately I can't find a sketch or a photograph of Mary. They purchased this house, the Gordon House, along with 300 acres up on McKee Road. That house was built originally around 1879, and it was sold to the Gordons by Catherine Center, that's S-E-N-T-E-R, and we all know Center Road, where, oddly enough, that's where the Gordon House ended up. That cost $47,000 for 300 acres, and it's just hard to imagine that up there was just open space and olive groves. It was known as Paula del Rancho. So Mary lived in the house until her passing in 1929. And we'll get to a little bit more about Hanford in a second. So here's the location of where the house would have been. Of course, it was built before Taco Bell that's up there. The house was moved in 1986, and it was moved to History Park. Here's just a clip of a YouTube about the movement of this house down to History Park. And it took 4 years to restore the house from 1986 to 1990, and that was done through contributions of generous Rotarians, and many companies of Rotarians helped with that. The windows, the fireplace, and the brick are all original. And this is the June commemoration. The veranda was rebuilt to mock an exact replica of what the original house looked like. So now I'd like to talk a little bit about Hanford. This is Hanford in his later years. Hanford was born maybe in 1849, maybe in 1836, maybe in 1846. I saw all different dates, and that's one thing I admire about Hanford. He never tells anyone his age. He was born in Andover, New York, a small town near the Pennsylvania border. He was an avid scholar, and he studied the law when he became an orphan as a teenager. He became a lawyer in Ithaca, New York, and then he practiced in Minneapolis, and he made a fortune representing a railroad baron, James Hill, who was the president of Northern Railway. He enlisted in the Union Army. Some people referred to him as the general. At the outbreak of the Civil War, he was captured during the First Battle of the Bull Run, imprisoned, and escaped from a prisoner of war camp. He returned home, served as a county attorney, like our President Matt, and then he returned to the Army to fight the indigenous people in the upper Midwest. So that's strike one against Hanford for me. So they then moved, Mary and Hanford moved to San Jose, and unfortunately, Hanford became embroiled in 2 legal issues. There are newspaper articles about them, and there's court documents about it. The first one, I will say, was a paternity suit involving what was referred to as a home domestic. And I was not able to find a photograph of the home domestic. Secondly, Hanford got in a little dispute with someone in downtown San Jose, took out his pistol and shot him, and went through the criminal court. I'd say that's strike 3 against Hanford. And he was tried twice for that crime. He eventually entered a plea, was on probation, and then took off for Los Angeles. So he remarried in Los Angeles, of course, to a much younger woman. I don't even know her name, couldn't find her photo. And of course, that marriage didn't last long. So based on all the shenanigans of Hanford, Lennox, Gordon, I prefer to think of the Gordon house as the Mary Gordon house. Thank you.
Always great. I think people know Karen spends countless hours combing through old newspaper articles to find these things. I mean, she's just been extraordinary this year. I've loved all these Did You Know segments, and I've heard many of you have as well. Okay, next up, we're doing some new member introduction, folks. We've got 2 of them today. Back to back, we're going to do them. Dora Padilla and Aaron Fritz. Why don't we have them both head this way, as well as their sponsors. Dora's sponsor is Jonathan and Ray Castaneda, and Norm Holberg's Aaron's sponsor. As they're making their way up here for guests and folks who have not been here in a while, we're doing something a little different with the new member introductions. Their full bio with their full story is in the lobby for you to check out. It's on the bulletin. It's on the website. It's posted in social media. I encourage you to check those things out. But in order to create some connections here with people, find some things in common with them, we've been playing this either-or game. So it's about 12:32 according to the clock. Studies show that's the perfect time for afternoon stretch. This is what we do, Rob. We do cardiovascular workouts now on your feet. And we'll go with Dora first here. Okay. We've got some fun facts. Check these out. Get those back up in a moment, please. Fun facts coming back up, hopefully.
There they are.
There they are. Yeah, those are some fun facts. So we're going to play some either or. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get them out, and then we'll do this. Okay. We're going to start with music genre. I think people know I like the music genre question. And of course, rules for those of you who don't know. If you have the same answer, remain standing. If you have a different answer, take a seat, but keep listening because you may have other things in common. We'll narrow this down and see who's got a lot of things in common. So here we go. Music genre question. What is your preference? Classic rock, Rolling Stones, The Who, or Motown? Marvin Gaye, Diana Ross as examples. Classic rock or Motown?
Motown.
Motown, I like it. Okay, that's good. We got some Motown folks here. Next one, would you rather read the book or listen to a podcast?
Read the book.
Read the book. Okay, we've got some book readers here. It's a very educated, very sophisticated crowd here. Big bash or intimate gathering?
Oh, that's hard. Intimate gathering.
Okay. We're going to do one more. Ooh, it's a risky one. We're going to do it. What was your preference? A night at the Symphony or a regular season game watching the 49ers?
Oh, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Oh, my God. Stay standing if you're standing.
I just bought tickets to go see the Niners in Dallas in November. So still, Symphony.
Symphony says. Okay, we got people standing. I love it. If you're still standing, please come over and introduce at the end of the meeting. Invite her to sit with you, talk to her about your committees. And with that, let's all get back up and give our usual Rotary welcome to Dora.
Thank you, President Matt. I just wanted to take a moment to thank everyone, President Matt, Tim, James Williams, the staff, Marie, Leslie, all of my Red Badgers. I feel like I truly am part of a family. My Rotary grandfather, Richard, back there, since he was Jonathan's sponsor, he's my Rotary grandfather. I feel very comfortable, very welcomed. I am so happy to be here. And for the barbecue, all the Red Badgers, you guys knocked it out of the park. I was so proud of you. Thank you for making me look good. Thank you.
Wonderful. Love to hear that. Thank you so much. Okay, and thank you to your sponsors again, Jonathan and Ray. Next up, we've got Aaron Fritz step forward with his sponsor, Norm Holberg. It's really good to keep the blood flowing, folks. So let's do it one more time. Come on, here we go. Aaron, are you ready? Let's get to his fun facts. He's got some great ones as well. I was telling him when I read these fun facts, I'm having some. I need to get out there and do a few more things. I mean, these are doing great stuff out there. Okay,
Stephen Colbert's last show.
No, great.
All right. Okay. Of course,
Rolled right over.
Rolled over CBS.
What would you prefer?
It's not
A
watched them.
backpacking trip or a biking trip?
Yeah, right.
Biking trip.
Sure.
Okay, surprising. Okay. Next question. We always have to do the music question. Yes, because we have a new biking committee. One more on that later. The Beatles or the Rolling Stones?
Beatles.
Okay. We're going to do another one. Okay. Fine dining or pub dining? Tough questions.
Pub dining.
Okay, I like this number. Please, as I say, what makes the game work, folks, is at the end of the meeting, going up and introducing and making the connection. So please do that. And with that, one last time, folks. So the traditional Rotary warm welcome. Please.
Well, thanks to Norm for introducing me to many of you, and the opportunity to join has been terrific so far. It's a lot of fun meeting all the new Red Badgers. I also want to thank Gary and Pam Allison, who was the introduction to Rotary in the first place, and had an opportunity to meet a number of you people on a recent ski trip. So I look forward to working on a number of committees and meeting more people.
Thank you so much, Aaron. Welcome. And thank you, Norm, for sponsorship. That's wonderful. Folks, we're going to have 3 folks introduced next week, so get to the gym in the next 7 days, because we're getting after that. Okay, let's have some fun. Yes, it's time for our monthly Ring the Bell segment. That's where we ring the bell, $100 for each ring. Money goes to the foundation, turns around, and maybe goes to the endowment, and then goes to the foundation later, goes right back into the community through grants and committee things. So you're having a good time out there, you're telling good things, and you're doing good at the same time. If you've got some good news to share, grab the mic, we'll ring the bell. Take it away, Suzanne.
Hey, thanks, President Matt. And this is Suzanne with Fountain Blues Foundation and the Levitt Pavilion San Jose with 2 big announcements all about music. We're super excited. So the Fountain Blues Festival, Blues and Brews Festival, is June 27 and 28. And here's what you might not know. It's the longest running blues festival in California, here in San Jose. So get your tickets. Even if you're not a, quote, blues fan, it's going to be a rock and roll show this year with some of the most amazing guitarists you can imagine, and 3 artists from the movie Sinners. So come see me for information on that. And then secondly, Levitt Pavilion is increasing to 10 shows, 10 free concerts. It starts this Sunday. We're super excited about the lineup. So no fences, no tickets. Everybody's welcome over in St. James Park. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Went to a Levitt event. Really exciting what they're talking about out there. Great musical lineup, so that's terrific. Matt Robin, take it away.
Hello, everyone. Matt Robin, Rancho Robin Rescues. I'm ringing the bell on behalf of Emily, who usually rings every month, so she wanted to make sure we said something. We also have a Brews Festival. See what I did there? Brews. It's called Brews for the Ruse, and we are doing a fundraiser for our farm animal sanctuary at Narrative Fermentation Brewery, also on June 27th in the afternoon, evening from 3 to 9 p.m. So swing by, hang out, have a beer, meet some animals, and then go listen to some blues at Levitt Pavilion. So
wonderful. Thank you so much.
Ringing the bell one time. Oh, not at Levitt Pavilion, at Cos Park. There you go.
There we go.
Hello, Mr. President. Ron Drake.
Ron Drake. Hello, Ron.
I would like to ring the bell 5 times. Yesterday, the Seeds of Peace project, which has been worked. Stand up, will you?
Yes,
Mulcahy.
Kimberly.
Come on,
Let's show
stand
some
up.
love.
The 5 rings are in honor of Kimberly Mulcahy and the Seeds of Peace project, which was unanimously approved by the City Council. Well, you know this, Mr. President. You spoke at the meeting. Unanimously approved by the City Council. So we're going to be moving forward on this project. Our expectation is construction will begin in September-ish and will be open by December. And without this lady, it will not happen, and it would not have happened. So
that is just wonderful. And so appropriate, yes. And folks, as Diane says, it's happening, folks. Very exciting. And Kimberly's going to be here in June. She's going to be at the podium to give us a full update on what's going on, what the plan is, when it's installed, and how it's going to be activated. So looking forward to that. Catherine, right back here.
Hi, I'm going to simplify this a little bit, just bring it down. I don't have any big public announcements to make, other than I'm just really, really proud of my nephew, Trey Louderback, who's graduating from Marquette.
Oh, that is wonderful. That is what Ring the Bell is all about. That is great stuff.
Good afternoon,
right
President Matt.
Sean, hello.
Sean Cottle, a dirt lawyer at Hoag Fenton. I am so proud to announce that my first and only grandchild, my granddaughter, Caroline Kerm Omenson, celebrated her first birthday on May 6th. And we had the pleasure of going to Oxford, Mississippi to be there with her. So one ring for me. Thanks.
Love to go to a football game there. James, take it away.
Thank you. I was wanting to ring the bell today to just remind all of the Rotarians about a special event that Rotary is doing with the Symphony in a couple of weeks. On Saturday, June the 6th, there will be an hour-long reception for Rotarians preceding the performance. Starts at 6:30. There's a special discounted ticket price for you to join the performance. And also at intermission, we'll be back together for food and wine as well. So it'll be a lot of fun. We hope a lot of you turn out. And There's flyers laying out there, or you can just call the Symphony box office, either one, and say you're a Rotarian.
Thank you so much, James. Yeah, that's going to be a great event. We're going to have a slide with the QR code to make that easy coming up. So, Kathleen, President-elect.
Hello, President Matt. Promo code Rotary 75, just so you know. I want to ring the bell twice. Once for Deanna, David, and Robert for putting on a fabulous celebration of neurodiverse artists on Sunday. It was really something. So there's one ring. And
yeah, let's absolutely.
And secondly, I just want to thank the Fun and Friendship Committee members. It has been a fabulous year, and Dagmar was a great co-chair, and you guys were amazing. Thank you.
Amen. I love it. Okay. Chelsea, right over here.
May is National Foster Care Month, and we are celebrating all month long at Pivotal, where we work to help young people from foster care accomplish their educational and career goals.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chelsea. Mr. Hackman, nice seat up there. We'll discuss how you got such prime seat in a little bit, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's why I was standing up. So I'm doing something I think maybe for the first time. I don't know. I don't know if anybody else has ever seen a Ring the Bell coupon. But if you were paying attention at the gala, there's actually these cool things called silent auctions. I'm a light junkie on those. I should really stop because I ring up a huge credit card bill. So one of them was the VIP for a year, so I get Ring the Bell coupons once a month. But I didn't get one for last month, so I only ring it twice because
I love it.
I don't know if they expire. I don't know.
They don't expire.
Okay, so that's one thing. It does have a lot more pressure to show up because I have a reserved table seat up here.
The clock still applies to people, so sorry.
Sorry. And then, the other one too, which is the other great thing that there's a Mulcahy here in the house in Salos, I think. Yeah, so that disco party was really good. And oh my gosh, it was a long day, and somebody else brought my wife's phone home. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you so much. Love it. In the back, I say this every single time, but I want to hear from everyone. But rapid fire, take it away.
Good afternoon, President Leah Tennisketter. I'd like to ring the bell for the city of San Jose. We have the next professional women's hockey league in our city.
Amen. That's great.
We are the only city to have a women's, a men's, and a professional and a development hockey team in the U.S. And this makes us having 9 teams, if you add in our beautiful universities, within 10 minutes of our downtown. It's pretty special for us.
Terrific. Thank you. All right. If you can do it in one sentence, let's do it. Bert,
One
take
sentence.
it away. Or
this
two.
is for, we're going to ring it 10 times, for my dad's best friend, Rob Fox.
Oh, my God. That's the way it's done, Bert. The best. Here we go. Sarju, rapid fire.
President Matt, yes. Want to ring the bell for my daughter, Jasmine, who is graduating from Archbishop Mitty this Saturday. Go Monarchs. And she's accepted admission for the fall at University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Wonderful. That's great stuff. Sarah, you're on the clock. Take it away. Yell it out. We don't know. We're going to have to keep moving. Son's wedding. Wonderful news.
He married Hannah last Saturday night at Saratoga Springs in a beautiful ceremony, and our family has now grown to 19 people.
Terrific. I love it. That is great stuff. Mike, make it quick.
Hi, President Matt. I want to ring the bell twice. One's for my oldest granddaughter, who's graduating from the 8th grade in May and matriculating to St. Notre Dame Academy in Culver City. And then her dad, we celebrated him getting his educational doctorate degree from Boston College last weekend. Fantastic event.
Thank you. David, you got 20 seconds. Sorry.
President Ken, I'm going to ring the bell 10 times. I want to thank Kathleen for her ringing the bell for us as well. And mine is to recognize all of the committee members who did such a fantastic job on Sunday. Without them, we wouldn't have had such a success we had for the neurodiverse storytelling project for young artists. Thank you all.
Oh, thank you, David, for your great leadership. That is wonderful. Last one, Stephanie, take it away.
Last one. I'm Stephanie Belansky Fair with the Lee Weimers Committee, and and we invite you to attend an afternoon of wine and song on June 6th from 2 to 5 at the lovely home of Mike and Nancy's. There's going to be previous award winners, of course, wine, and it's going to be great. You just need to sign up. I have flyers here.
Terrific. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to go on to the main event. We'll come back to some things here. Next week's speaker, I will say right now, Lerone Martin, talking about the young king, the making of Martin Luther King Jr., going to be very interesting. Today, our main event, Matt Moreles, Santa Clara County Registrar of Voters, and introducing him will be Steve Preminger. Show some love, folks.
So 10 years ago, would we have had the Registrar of Voters come speak to Rotary? Probably not. Registrar of Voters, they perform a certain function. We all know what it is. What's the big deal? What's the controversy? So this is 2026, and I am about to introduce Matt Moreles, who was appointed to be the Registrar of Voters for the county in 2025 after serving over 20 years in various roles with the office. During that time, he oversaw the modernization of the county's critical voting systems and election technology and has worked to strengthen both the physical security and cybersecurity of county elections. He was also instrumental in expanding voting accessibility and inclusivity through the county's implementation of the Voters' Choice Act, as well as leading the county to be an early adopter of ballot drop boxes and satellite early voting locations, in addition to providing voter services and materials in 17 languages, all of which Matt speaks.
Yeah.
Matt is a Santa Clara County native and lives in San Jose, where he's registered to vote. Our registrar, Matt Moreles.
Thank you all. It's a pleasure to be here to talk about elections. Obviously, with the June primary coming up, it's a hot topic. Hopefully, you've all cast your ballots already, but if you haven't, this is your friendly reminder to get those in as soon as possible. So, as Steve mentioned, I've been doing this for over 20 years. I started with the Registrar of Voters office in 2004. So if you flash back to 2004, we were in the wake of the Bush v. Gore presidential election from 2000. The 2002 Help America Vote Act had just passed, and I got hired by the county to help with voter education regarding what was then our brand new voting system, which was for the first time we were using paperless touchscreen voting machines. So 2004, I started my career in elections in the backdrop of divisive political environment across the country, with sweeping changes to election legislation and regulation, coming along with technological changes that put a renewed focus of scrutiny and skepticism onto the election process. Jumping forward 20 years, 2024, my predecessor, our previous registrar, retired. I stepped in to take on the role of the interim registrar of voters, and then a year later was appointed permanently as the registrar of voters in a period of political divisiveness where there's intense scrutiny, unprecedented scrutiny, and skepticism around the election process. So in a lot of ways, it's just more of the same. But I do think, to Steve's point, there is a lot that is different about election administration in the moment that we are in right now. Just to share with you, tomorrow and the day after, we're going to be doing our regular training for our staff on suspicious packages and what to do if you have a package in our office that you think might be dangerous. It includes a component about it of what to do if you open a ballot or another piece of mail that has white powder that's potentially poisonous, right? This is just a training that we have to give our staff every election now, right? Part of our vote center worker training for all of the poll workers who are going to go out and work at the vote centers deals with de-escalation, like what happens if you have bomb threats, disruption, any kind of security breach, or attempts to disrupt the voting process or intimidate voters. In a lot of ways, this is crazy. That I never would have thought 20 years ago when I started in this profession that that would just be a normal course of action. That's something that we have to do every election. It's true, every election you're going to have winners and you're going to have losers. And the folks who don't win are always going to have an incentive to question the process. You know, is this fair? Is this accurate? Is this something that we can trust? But I think that there is a level of skepticism and scrutiny that we're operating in right now that is, far and apart from anything that we've seen in the past. So you might ask yourself, why would somebody take a job like this? And that was that was certainly a question that I had to grapple with myself. It was a conversation that we had with my family and my colleagues. And the simple fact of it, and it's such a simple answer that it is going to sound like a cliche, but it's that elections are important, and the people who run elections matter, and elections really are potentially the most important right that we enjoy as citizens. In many ways, it's the foundational right upon which all of our rights rest. And throughout history, we've seen that the people who are conducting elections matter, the election system matters, the laws and processes and procedures around the election matter. And having done this for 20 years, I feel a sense of protectiveness over Santa Clara County's elections. Protectiveness for our voters, wanting to make sure that we are achieving our goal of providing fair, inclusive, accurate, and transparent elections. And I'm also feeling very protective of our incredible county election staff. It is really a privilege to work with them each and every day. And we frequently talk about and joke, you don't get into elections unless you love it, unless it gets in your blood and you believe in the mission, you believe in what you're doing. We always talk about, when we're talking about recruitment and retention, we live in the heart of Silicon Valley. There are easier ways to make a dollar than to run an election, right? And particularly, when people come into our office and they have that first experience of, the two election observers from the opposing campaigns literally standing over your shoulders, watching, scrutinizing every aspect of your work as you're doing it, that's a lot of stress for people to deal with, right? And we do long hours, weekends, nights, even holidays. Because of the special election last year, we actually even had to bring our staff in to work on Christmas Day in 2025. And yet, our team did it with a smile. Everybody was talking about, this is a great story we're going to be telling for years. And it's because, we all truly do believe in those cliches, that voting matters, that voting is our most important right, and we are dedicated to doing everything that we can to serve the voters of this county. So the two favorite questions that I get when I tell people I'm the Registrar of Voters, first one is my top favorite question is, you work in elections, so what do you do the rest of the year when it's not election day? Or my favorite variant, which is, well, what do you do for the other 4 years, right? Because of course, elections only happen every 4 years. So that's my number one favorite question. My number two favorite question, though, is probably the question that all of you came to this meeting for, which is, how can we trust the election results? How can we assure voters that our elections are fair and accurate? And how can voters have confidence in the process, given the climate of divisiveness and skepticism that we see? And I think really the answer to both of those questions, what do we do? What do we do when there's not an election, and how can we trust our elections, is that we have a team, and I'm privileged to work with a team of who I believe are like the best elections team in the country, dedicated, passionate public servants, and that allows us to keep the control of the county's elections locally, meaning that our elections are not conducted by a private vendor, they're not conducted by the state, they're not conducted by the federal government, they're conducted by county employees who live in our county, who embody the values of our county, who understand the concerns and the specific needs of our county. And everything begins and ends with them. From the start of the election, months in advance, where we're helping people qualify for the ballot, building the ballot, translating them into 17 different languages. But most importantly, we have county staff who are individually testing each and every piece of voting equipment, from the scanners that we use to tally the ballots, to the touchscreens that go out to help people cast their ballots in the vote centers. All of those are tested by county employees under the county's control. And then at the end of the election, all of the ballots are tabulated by county employees, and not just tabulated, but we do our own audits to check the work of the electronic machines after the fact to make sure 100% with full confidence that when we certify the results, it is a true reflection of the will of the voters. Now, of course, the question that always comes to people's minds is, well, how do you know, though, it hasn't been hacked? How do we know that the counting machines haven't been hacked? And in California and in most jurisdictions, the voting system is required to be what we call air-gapped. So it is completely offline. So all of the scanners, all of the servers, the computer workstations that tally ballots are completely isolated from the internet, which means when we're actually publishing the election results to the internet, we physically have to go into the secure room where our closed system is, plug a thumb drive, a USB drive, into one of those computers, copy the election results onto that, then physically walk outside of the room, go to a new computer that is internet connected, plug in the thumb drive, upload the results. And then, because now that drive has touched a computer that is outside our closed system, that drive has to get quarantined. And we can't use it again until it's been erased and reformatted. Because we operate off of a what some might call like a high paranoia model of conducting elections, right? We don't want to trust any piece of equipment, any system, any person. We want to have a system of protection that is robust enough where we are assuming that the worst is going to happen. We assume that all of the conspiracies could be true. Somebody's going to try to hack the system. Somebody's going to try to gain access to it. And we try to build safeguards in place in order to protect against that, right? And that includes having very tight security, both physical security and electronic cybersecurity around all of our critical systems. It's even to the extent where from my desk in my office, I can't remotely connect to our tabulation system and do any updates, let alone could some vendor or somebody from the state or federal government try to connect in remotely to connect that. Additionally, because it's offline, there are no over-the-air updates. Like everybody's, I'm sure, is used to the experience of you pick up your phone or turn on your laptop and you're getting the notice that it updated overnight. Any change to the software has to first go through the state and get tested to the state's standards, but then we have to take it and we have to physically go to Sacramento, pick up a drive with that software build on it, bring it back to Santa Clara County, and we choose whether or not we're going to apply that new update, and we will also do our full suite of testing around that. Now, of course, there are several items that amongst our technology that do need to get connected to the internet, such as our voter registration system and our electronic poll books that let us check in voters at the vote centers. But even then, we take that ultra-high paranoia model. We work very closely. We have within the county has a countywide information security, cybersecurity team that we vet all of our technology with. We also work very closely, though, with the state and federal partners who help us do things like threat monitoring, looking for any suspicious IP activity coming in on our computer systems. We do regular penetration testing, where we basically work with consultants to try to play as if they were hackers and see if they can hack into our system to help us find and resolve any vulnerabilities. And this is just the kind of safeguards that have become second nature to us in this new experience of elections. Now, on the backdrop of all of that, there's also been a lot of talk about, how do we balance the security of the election, but also with the inclusiveness, and make sure that we're not creating an election process that is so restrictive that it becomes a barrier for people to participate. So again, as Steve mentioned, we are making sure that as much as we're focusing on the technological and security side of things, we are also remaining steadfast in our commitment that the voting system, the voting process, has to work for voters. So we've expanded the language offering so people can get their ballot materials in the language that they're most comfortable with. We also go above and beyond to make sure we have accessibility features, including remote accessible vote by mail, curbside voting options. So if anybody has problems physically accessing a vote center, we've got a variety of options for them to be able to vote securely, independently, and privately, just in the same way as any other voter would be. And another question that comes up a lot in this sphere is, are there going to be changes to the voting process this year? And I'm sure a lot of you are aware of questions around potential changes at either the state or federal level to voting by mail and the rules around voting by mail. So for now, at least, for the June election, part of our messaging is just to reassure voters that it is business as usual in Santa Clara County, that voting by mail is open for business in Santa Clara County. But we also want to make sure that voters have the information that they need in order to make sure that their vote gets counted. So one of the questions that we get is, what can I do as an informed voter, or what can I do to either make my ballot count, make sure my ballot counts, or to make sure that my friends and families and neighbors' ballots count? What can I do as somebody who is more informed to help get everybody across the finish line to casting their ballot? And just given everything that we're seeing at the state and federal level, the best advice that we can give is voting early, casting your ballot early, which I know is a challenge this election, because we have a lot of people that we talk to who are saying they're hanging on to their ballot because they want to make up their mind for the governor's seat. But voting early does have a lot of advantages to you as a voter. First off, if there's any problems, any question with your ballot, it gives us time to reach back out to you to fix it. So if you forgot to sign your vote by mail envelope, for example, there's laws that allow us to reach out to you to get that corrected. Additionally, if you're going to vote in person, usually when you go to vote earlier, you have much shorter lines, which means much shorter wait times, which means if you do have any problems with your registration or any questions about your eligibility that come up, the staff there are going to have more time to work with you on a one-by-one basis in order to resolve your issue and make sure that you can cast your ballot successfully. And the last thing that we really do want to push and message with voters for this election and the foreseeable future are our drop boxes. So we have over 100 drop boxes distributed throughout the county. Those are available outside 24/7. They're secure. They're collected every day by county employees. They're kept entirely within the control of the county and the Registrar of Voters office. So if you have anybody who is concerned about, well, if I mail my ballot, is it going to get there in time? I've heard that you can't trust the postmark, or that not all the ballots are going to get postmarked. The antidote to that really is using our drop boxes. We also have our over 100 vote centers that the first 5 of them are going to open this weekend, but as we get closer to Election Day, it'll expand to 112 vote centers throughout the county, and you can go vote in person there. You can also just drop off your ballot there, walk right up, and not have to worry about the postmark, not have to worry about, is it going to get through the mail in time? So that's really the biggest kind of hack that I can give to any voter asking, how do I make sure that my vote counts. So I think with that, I'd like to open it up to questions. I know that there's a lot of folks who have specific questions about the election process. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Matt. How many regular, like what's your FTE and the registrar of voters, and then how many seasonal employees you bring during election season?
Yeah, FTEs, we have just shy of 100 in our, like full-time employees in our office. And then we'll bring in about 200 to 300-ish, like to work in our various offices and warehouses around the election. And we'll bring in another about 1,000 to 1,500 to work at the vote centers as kind of poll workers.
Bonnie.
Hi, Matt. It's Bonnie Bamberg.
Hi, Bonnie.
I was honored to serve on the Elections Commission just about the time you came to Santa Clara, I think. At any rate, one of the things that I want to point out to people is that there is a weak link in our election systems. And that weak link is the participation that we all should be doing. At the end of the election day, at 8 o'clock, all of the ballots that have been in those vote centers are bundled up. There's never a time that a ballot travels alone. It's always brought to the registrar's office where a conveyor belt, and these things are heavy. I will tell you, the amount of gray hair that is loading those is really incredible, and we need to thank Matt for bringing in young people. So Matt, would you please explain, we've heard a lot about mail-in ballots and how they can be forged or not trusted. Would you explain how the security works for those?
Yeah, so we have, so first off, in California, every single mail ballot gets signature checked, whether it comes back by the mail or gets dropped in one of our drop boxes. So we do a comparison of the signature on the envelope to the signatures that we have on file from voter registration records, from voter registration cards, or any previous change of address cards or anything like that. So that's the first level of security. The second level of security is people sometimes ask about, well, what if you try to vote twice, right? So our system tracks each ballot individually, and the ballot envelope is given a unique barcode identifier. But not only do we track each ballot individually, each ballot is linked back to the voter that it was issued to. So if I get my ballot, I call in, I say, hey, I need a replacement or whatever the case may be, and I get a second ballot, and I think I'm going to be clever, and I'm going to send one back and then send the other one, our system automatically will flag, once it receives the first ballot, it'll flag any subsequent ballots or previous ballots that were issued. So when the second ballot comes back or the third ballot comes back, our system's going to automatically flag our staff to say, hey, this person's already voted. It's a similar thing, actually, that also works at the vote centers. Like, all of our poll books are connected, so if you go to one site and then you go to another site, by the time you get to the second site, the poll books have talked to each other, and so they'll be able to say, hey, either you voted at another vote center or you voted by mail and now you're trying to vote in person. So that's how we try to secure those votes.
After 47 years as an elected official and 10 elections, I can attest to what a great registrar of voters office we have. But,
thank you.
But this is a national election. And what is being done nationally in coordinating the kinds of things that you've implemented here and that we can depend on all over the country, whether it's physical disruption or, more importantly, the fear that's generated in a lot of people's minds that they just don't want to go to the polls and vote? Is there a national attempt to try to coordinate these kinds of things to protect the elections all over the country?
Great question. Thanks, Larry. And the answer is yes, there definitely is. And to be honest and to be fair, different states and different jurisdictions have different laws, different rules, so there is going to be some variance between the different jurisdictions. Additionally, I'll just say I'm fortunate to be the registrar of voters in Santa Clara County. We are resourced. We do have access to resources, and we have a board of supervisors that has been very generous in supporting our office, but that's not necessarily the case everywhere. However, there still is a lot of coordination that happens amongst election officials, both statewide and nationwide, to share best practices, to share information about different threats that we're seeing, both like physical security threats, but also cybersecurity threats. In fact, just yesterday, there were primaries in other states, and so I was on what we call the Election Information Sharing and Action Center. So it's a Teams chat that election officials nationwide have access to let each other know, hey, this is what we're seeing on the ground in different places, and we can make each other aware of potential threats to be looking out for. So there is a lot of coordination that's going out there. Of course, we'd always love to see more. We'd always love to see more funding, and but I do think that those opportunities do exist, and we are trying to make sure that those of us that are in counties that do have the resources can be those best practice standard bearers to help educate and uplift our colleagues in other jurisdictions. Sure, yeah.
I think that's it for the questions here, but Matt's going to be able to stick around if you want to ask your questions afterwards. And with that, thank you, Matt Moreles. Great talk.
Okay, thank you.
Let's get a photo together right over here. Actually, I guess they want to come this side. That'd be good right here. You got a challenge going for you with that? Thank you so much. Okay, folks. Let's go back here for a second. We've got a couple announcements. We've got the happy hour tomorrow, 5 p.m. Come check that out. That is always a great event. Good turnout, 5 p.m., 5 Points Cocktail Bar. Please come join us at that. We've got, on May 30th, we've got the past President Bryan Adams Mini Masters. We still got slots for you. This is a great event, family-friendly event. You come out there, you do some putt-putt golf, you mingle, you have a little lunch afterwards, a little competition, some fun prizes giving away. If you haven't signed up, please do so in the lobby. And as we heard earlier, June 6th is the Symphony San Jose event, and that's just going to be a wonderful night, so I encourage folks to check that out as well. And next week we've got Lerone, and today we're winding down the Rotary year. We've got a few more meetings yet, so we're going to have a little themes for the walkout music, and we'll kick this one off by George Strait. I'm not here for a long time, but I'm here for a good time. And with that,